Hey everyone, I want to talk today a little bit about abortion trauma. And even within the abortion world, I really feel like abortion trauma in particular is stigmatized. And this is because I think there's a prevalence in the pro-choice movement to say that abortion trauma doesn't exist, that women have abortions and never look back, and that it's not something that really causes any emotional friction in abortion seekers. And from personal experience, I know that's not true. And also from many of the clients that I've come across over the years who've needed extra support in working through various aspects of their abortion. And I've really come to look at it through a certain framework of I think it really connects a lot to compassionate inquiry and Gabor Mate's work, but really how trauma occurs in the body and also how trauma can be connected to so many different things that have happened in our lives. And that when different energies reoccur, it also compounds and impacts the way that we experience not only current and present traumas, but also past traumas. And so really having a more holistic view of all of these things, especially in terms of abortion, I think gives us a greater and deeper understanding of abortion, but also of the human condition more generally. So what is abortion trauma? I would say abortion trauma really is defined by having consistent or reoccurring thoughts of the pregnancy, baby, an abortion, or the context surrounding the abortion. It's wishing that wishing that they had not had an abortion. And again, this isn't always present, but these things are often present in people that have abortion regret or abortion trauma. Cries at the sight of babies or media depicting motherhood. Obsessed with the idea of getting pregnant again. Having nightmares about babies or about losing babies. And fears that this abortion means that they will never be a good mother, or also that they don't deserve to be a mother. Or feeling like this abortion is a blight on their soul and it's something that they can never actually repent or move past or get greater universal or religious forgiveness for. So what causes this? I would really say it's a fracture in one's psyche because all of the parts, the mind, the heart, the womb, and the pussy were not all in alignment when the decision was made. And again, with our clients, if we work with them through the mind, heart, the womb, and the pussy exercises, and we really make sure that all those parts are in alignment, they have a greater chance of having better resilience through the abortion experience and also healing more deeply. And if we can give our clients the gift of healing their abortion in real time and actually maybe even allowing them to have a bit of a deeper healing experience to even heal things that happened before, truly that is a gift. And it's a shame. I think a lot of people experience an abortion and have compounded traumas around these lack of alignments. And then they end up having conflicted feelings around their abortion after the abortion that don't really have an opportunity to get worked through in the same way that we can when it is the present moment. So another thing that causes abortion trauma for the same reason is that they felt pressured by one of the parts to go through with an abortion. And usually, most generally, that'll be the mind. The mind is like, this isn't the right moment economically. It could be better in terms of my work. This and this and this is going on. It doesn't make sense. And then that'll be in conflict with what the heart and maybe the pussy wants. maybe the pussy or the heart and the womb. And let's say the pussy is like, no, I'm not ready to give up my maiden life. I still have like a lot of like people I want to date and things I want to do. I don't really want to be saddled with the baby. And that's in conflict with the womb that says, I want to create, I want to have a baby, I want to do this now. So, really looking at the different parts of oneself and how they're communicating with each other or not. And if one of the parts is maybe pressuring the others in order to get a resolution that maybe isn't in full congruencies with one's soul. So, we have to really look at that and see how all of those pieces fit together. Also, the contextual material in her life that reproduced conditions of past traumas. A really simple, great example of this is, let's say someone has an experience of the masculine walking out on them. So let's say their parents had a divorce, their father wasn't present in their upbringing, and then when this person gets pregnant many years later and tells her partner, he leaves, or he has a really shut down response like this, where he no longer wants to be in the relationship. He's clear he's not going to support the pregnancy or her. So then right there, that's triggering this response from a past trauma around the masculine, and that she gets left. And that's being now replicated by this baby's daddy in the present time. So it's this trauma around her abortion, because maybe she's feeling pressured by one of her parts to have the abortion because that's what he wants. And that's even a part outside of her. Maybe that's the heart saying, well, he doesn't want it. Maybe he'll want me if I have this abortion. Things can get twisted, right? So we have to really look at this and tease out what is happening in her life that might connect to a past trauma around something that seems like on the surface it may not be connected, because you might not say, hey, it makes sense that this abortion is connected to her father leaving, but actually it could make more sense than anything else in the world. And if we're able to tease out these points with the client, it can enable her to understand in the present where she's being triggered, and really what's going on under the surface of this abortion, and also what kind of initiation this abortion is really taking her into, in terms of patterns in her life, disrupting patterns in her life, and starting the process of really making meaning of this abortion and this experience. So ambivalent clients are the ones that are most at risk for abortion trauma and abortion regret. And that is because they're the ones that most commonly are not in alignment with all of their parts. And so ambivalent seekers are probably the most rare of seekers, but when ambivalence gets really intense, it's really intense, because someone who's completely 50-50 truly cannot make a decision. And it's one of those things where the individual is the only one that can make that decision. And also, the baby or the pregnancy is going to come out some way. And it needs to be decided, and they need to be fully in alignment with themselves, whether they're going to be having a baby or having an abortion. This is like supremely important with our great cosmic mother code, that each individual is completely sovereign and has agency and strength in her decision of to create life or to destroy life and manifest it into something else. And this is really, truly our role as abortion doulas, is to help empower people on this point of making their sovereign decision, and that they themselves are totally decided and in their full agency in making that decision, whether it is to birth or to have an abortion. So again, what is the role of the doula in preventing abortion trauma? Again, work with your clients to make sure that you can align all four parts of their psyche and that they're in full 100% agency of their decision. And use the tools. The toolbox of all of these different decision-making tools using somatic somatic frameworks and also just different ways to look at their pregnancy and their context differently can really help. Have them get into the body. The clues of what someone really wants can be found in their bodily sensations, and we can help get curious and really have a better understanding of what's going on inside them, even if they're completely shutting down and really struggling to do so. Have them fully embody both choices. If someone is ambivalent, they're of both minds. So get curious and start playing around with both of those minds. Have some fun really getting into one of the experiences, have them fully embody the role of motherhood, the process of being pregnant and growing a baby, of giving birth, and then have them fully embody the process of abortion. Take them through the process of getting the pills, take them through the process of bleeding. What is that all going to look like? What is it going to feel like? And then ask them what they're going to manifest in those 9 months instead of the baby. How is that alchemical process going to work for them? Have them start to percolate on both of these different options. And know that that is your role, to help them go deeper into their own experience and to make the decision that's best for them. And this is a big one. And there is nothing worse than abortion regret and feeling like you didn't make the right decision and that you fucked up by not fully aligning all of your different parts. And every person owes that to themselves, to their bodies, to their hearts, and to their spirits, and to this collective of spirits that we're connected to make sure that they're in alignment with all of those things. And that's the space that we're here to hold, and the process that we're fully equipped to carry people through. And yeah, this piece is a gift, and this piece is truly the active part of what, again, we discussed in the Great Cosmic Mother as being the site of sovereignty of the sacred heart of the feminine, is to stand in power in your full womb sovereignty of being able to choose the power of birth or the power of abortion.